Let me guess how this went. You decided to get serious. You started saving. And for a while, it actually worked. Month 1, you put away $200. Month 2, $400. Month 3, $600. You were genuinely proud of yourself. Then, March happened. Car registration came due. Then the dentist, and it wasn't just a cleaning. Then a wedding you'd known about for 8 months and somehow still hadn't planned for. Then your tires, because tires always seem to wear out in a group. And by June, your savings account was back to almost nothing. So you did what everyone does. You decided you're just bad at this. Bad with money. Undisciplined, not a saver. You're not bad at this. Because here's what actually happened, and once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Not one of those things was an emergency. The car registration comes at the same time every single year. The dentist is every 6 months. The wedding had a save the date. The tires had been getting worse for 11 months and telling you about it the entire time. Every single one of those was on a calendar. You just never looked at it. You didn't fail at saving. You got ambushed by a calendar you didn't know you had. And this is why almost every savings plan online quietly falls apart. They all tell you the same thing. Save more. Cut your spending. Build an emergency fund. Be more disciplined, which sounds fine, until you realize the plan has no room in it for the things that are genuinely going to happen. It assumes 12 identical months. Your life does not have 12 identical months. Your life has 1 month with a car insurance bill, and 1 month with Christmas, and 1 month where the dog eats something expensive. So you build a plan for the average month, live in a real month, and then blame your character when the two don't match. My name is Cindy. If you've saved money before and watched it disappear into things you should have seen coming, hit subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. So let me actually count this out, because the number is bigger than people expect. Sit down and list everything you spend money on that isn't monthly. Not the rent, not the groceries, the irregular stuff. Car registration and inspection. Maybe $150. Car maintenance and tires, spread over a year, call it $600. Dentist and medical co-pays, $400. Holiday gifts, $600. Birthdays, $250. Annual subscriptions that renew all at once, $200. Travel, weddings, going home for something, $500. Small home or apartment repairs, $300. Pet costs, $250. That's about $3,250 a year, which is roughly $270 a month that you are already spending. Every year, not hypothetically. You spend it. You've just never once put it in a budget. So think about what that means. Your emergency fund isn't failing because you don't save enough. It's failing because it's been doing 3 completely different jobs at the same time, and none of them full-time. It's supposed to protect you from a job loss. It's also quietly paying for Christmas, and it's also the only place your long-term money could go. 1 bucket. 3 jobs. That's not a discipline problem, that's a design problem. So let me give you the fix. I call it the 3-bucket system. And once it's set up, it runs without you. Bucket 1 is the shield. Money that protects you from things you could never have predicted. Bucket 2 is the calendar. Money for things you absolutely could have predicted, and didn't. Bucket 3 is the ladder. Money that grows. 3 buckets. 3 jobs. 1 automatic transfer. And the whole thing takes about 30 minutes to build, once, and then never again. Before we go through them, there's one concept underneath all of this that explains why one big savings account can never work. Economists call it fungibility. What it means is simple. A dollar doesn't know what it's for. A dollar you saved for a broken furnace and a dollar you saved for a beach trip are physically identical. They sit in the same account. They look like the same number. So when you check your balance and see $2,000, your brain does not see $1,100 for emergencies, $600 for the car, $300 for Christmas. Your brain sees $2,000 and thinks, we're doing great. Dollars are extremely stupid. They have no memory and no intentions. That's the entire problem, and it's also the entire solution. Because if a dollar can't remember what it's for, you have to store it somewhere that remembers for it. That's what a bucket is. It's not a budget. It's a location that carries a purpose. Bucket 1. The shield. This is your genuine emergency money. And I want to be strict about the definition. Because emergency is the most abused word in personal finance. An emergency is, you lost your income. A medical event you couldn't have scheduled. Something broke that you cannot live without and cannot delay the car you drive to work. The furnace in January. An emergency is not a sale, a trip, a concert, a phone upgrade, your friend's bachelorette weekend in Nashville. All real things. None of them emergencies. How much? Start with 1 month of survival expenses. Rent, food, utilities, transport, minimum debt payments, not your fun budget, your survival number. For a lot of people, that's somewhere between $1,000 and $2,000. Then build toward 3 months over time. But 1 month first. Because 1 month is the difference between a bad week and a credit card balance you carry for 2 years. Where does it live? A high-yield savings account. FDIC insured, fully accessible, and actually paying you interest instead of nothing. Separate from your checking, so you don't see it when you're deciding whether to order takeout. And one rule for this bucket, which you should set today. The shield is not for the calendar. If Christmas is raiding your emergency fund, you don't have an emergency fund. You have a Christmas account with anxiety. Bucket 2. The calendar. And I want to spend the most time here, because this is the bucket almost nobody has, and it's the one that would have saved your savings back in March. The calendar holds money for expenses that are irregular but completely predictable. Christmas arrives on the 25th of December. It has done this every single year without exception. It is not ambushing anyone. Your car insurance premium has a date on it. Your registration has a date on it. Your dentist literally schedules you 6 months out and then texts you about it. These aren't surprises. They're just badly timed. So take that number you calculated earlier, the 3,250, or whatever yours is, and divide it by 12. That's your calendar contribution, about $270 a month in the example. Now, I know exactly what that number feels like when you first see it. It feels impossible. And I want to be straight with you. You are already paying it. You're just paying it in unpredictable lumps that wreck your month, instead of smooth amounts that don't. The money is not new. Only the timing is. And this is where something genuinely strange happens, which is the reason I think this bucket changes people's lives more than the other two. When the calendar bucket exists, emergencies stop happening. Not literally. The car still needs tires. But it stops being an emergency. It becomes a transaction. You get the bill, you move money from the calendar bucket, you pay it, and you go about your day. No spiral, no credit card, no well, there goes this month. No sitting in the parking lot doing math. Same expense, same amount. Completely different experience because the money was already assigned before the bill showed up. Most people think financial stress comes from not having enough money. A lot of the time it comes from having money that hasn't been assigned to anything. So every bill feels like it's competing with every other bill. Where does the calendar live? A second high-yield savings account. Most banks let you open several, and even nickname them. And nickname it. Seriously, call it car, gifts, health, or whatever yours holds. It sounds silly, and it matters more than it should, because your brain is not sophisticated. It will rate an account called savings. It hesitates before rating an account called car repairs. Bucket 3. The ladder. This is money that grows. And this bucket only opens after the first two are actually functioning. Not full functioning. 1 month in the shield. The calendar being funded monthly. If you skip ahead and start investing before those exist, one of two things happens. Either you'll sell your investments the first time your car breaks, at whatever price the market happens to be that week. Or you'll put it on a credit card at 20-something% while your investments earn 7, which is a very expensive way to feel like an investor. You're not being cautious by building the first 2 buckets. You're making the third one survivable. Where does the latter live? A retirement account or a brokerage account in a broad low-cost index fund bought automatically on the same day every month. And the latter should be boring. Genuinely, structurally boring. If your investing is exciting, something has probably gone wrong. Excitement in bucket 3 usually means you've accidentally started gambling. Now, the part that makes this permanent, because a system that depends on you remembering isn't a system. It's a chore with a nice name. Everything runs off one trigger, the day after you get paid. Not the end of the month. Not whatever's left. There is never anything left. That's not a personal failing. That's just how money behaves when it's given the chance to be spent. So the day after payday, 3 automatic transfers fire. 1 into the shield. 1 into the calendar. 1 into the ladder. Set them at the bank, not in your head. And set them small enough that they survive a bad month. This is the part people get wrong. They set aggressive amounts, feel great for 2 months, then hit a real month, cancel everything, and quit. A boring amount you never cancel beats an ambitious amount you abandon in March. If $50 into each bucket survives your worst month, start at 50. You can raise it in 90 days. You cannot unquit. And once those 3 transfers are live, you're done. Not done for now. Done. The system runs whether you're motivated, busy, sick, distracted, or having a terrible week. It doesn't need you anymore, which is the entire point. Let me make this concrete with 2 people. Same income, same expenses, same year. Maya has 1 savings account. Every spare dollar goes in. By March, she's got $1,800 and she feels ahead. Then, her registration, the dentist, and the tires all land inside 6 weeks. $1,200. Her account drops to $600. She feels like she's failed, so she stops transferring for a while. In November, Christmas hits, and it goes on a card. She ends the year with almost nothing saved, and a balance she'll carry into next summer. Dana splits the same money 3 ways. Shield, calendar, ladder, the same registration, dentist, and tires land in the same 6 weeks. $1,200 paid out of the calendar bucket. Annoying, not a crisis. Her shield never moves. Her ladder never stops. Christmas comes out of the calendar in December, because that's literally what it's there for. Dana ends the year with her shield intact, a year of investing done, and no credit card balance. Same income. Same expenses. Same discipline, honestly. The only difference is that Dana's money had assignments, and Maya's didn't. Now you might be thinking, okay, Cindy, but isn't 3 accounts overcomplicated? Couldn't I just track this in 1 account with a spreadsheet? You could. In theory. Almost nobody does it for more than 5 weeks, because a spreadsheet requires you to do mental subtraction before every decision. You open your account, you see $2,000, and then you have to remember that $700 of it is spoken for, and go verify that somewhere else. Every time. Forever, your brain will not keep doing that. It will take a shortcut. And the shortcut is always, it's fine. There's 2,000 in there. The 3 buckets aren't more complicated. They're less. You never do subtraction again. You look at the calendar bucket, see $412, and that is the truth. No cross-referencing. No willpower involved. And there's one failure mode I have to warn you about, because it shows up around month 4. The calendar bucket starts to look healthy. $800, $1,000 sitting there, and nothing has broken in a while. And your brain, which has been very well behaved for 4 months, starts making an argument. Nothing's happened. That money's just sitting there. I've earned something. Then you spend it, and 6 weeks later the insurance premium hits, and you're back in the exact place you started. Except now, you also believe the system doesn't work. The system worked, it got rated. So make the rule now, today, before the temptation arrives, because it's much easier to make rules for a version of yourself who isn't tempted yet. Money leaves the calendar bucket only for something that was on the calendar. If it wasn't a known, dated, recurring expense, it isn't a calendar withdrawal. That's it. One sentence. A quiet calendar bucket isn't idle money. It's a bill that hasn't arrived yet. So here's the whole build, and it takes about 30 minutes. Step 1. List every non-monthly expense from the past year. Bank statements, not memory. Memory is generous. Add it up, divide by 12. That's your calendar number. Step 2. Open 2 high-yield savings accounts. Nickname one Shield, nickname the other one after what's actually in it. Step 3. Set 3 automatic transfers for the day after payday. Amounts that survive a bad month. Step 4. Write your one rule somewhere you'll see it. The calendar is for the calendar. 30 minutes. Then it runs by itself, essentially forever. And look, I want to tell you what actually changes here. Because it isn't really the balances. With one bucket, every bill competes with every other bill. With 3 buckets, each bill has somewhere to come from. With one bucket, a predictable expense feels like a crisis. With 3 buckets, it's a transfer. With one bucket, your progress depends on nothing going wrong. With 3 buckets, things going wrong is already in the plan. With one bucket, you needed to be disciplined every single month. With 3 buckets, you needed to be organized once. That's the shift. Not more income, not more willpower. You stopped asking your character to do a job that your structure should be doing. Because you were never bad with money. You were running a plan for 12 identical months. In a life that has never once given you 12 identical months. Fix the buckets, and your savings stops being something you have to defend. If this made March make sense, hit subscribe and give it a thumbs up. And do me a favor, actually go add up your non-monthly expenses from last year. And comment the number, not the guess, the real one. I think most people are going to be genuinely shocked, and I want to see it. Next week, I'm covering the bucket everybody gets wrong. Exactly where your emergency fund should live, and why most people's savings is quietly losing money right now. I'll see you there.